Attention XRP Army, there is a second huge explosion that's going to happen in XRP. It's going to take the world by storm. It's going to catch a lot of people off guard, but not you. You're going to have the facts. Take a look at the facts. Every single cycle, we enter the green box 2 times. The first time is the first huge pump entering the green box. The second time is an even bigger pump, much more exuberant and much more powerful, and shocks the world. Then the whole thing resets. We move into the next cycle. 2021, we enter this green box the first time with the first huge big pump. But guess what? It's not just one pump. There's that second pump that's even bigger, even stronger, even crazier than the first one. And as soon as we enter that second one, the market cycle top is in and the whole thing repeats. Well, guess what? We have just entered this box for the first time, which tells us we should have a much bigger, a much more powerful, a much more dominant explosion that's coming. But the key question is when. In today's video, we're going to look at this theory. We're going to break it down. We're going to look at the facts, and we're going to have our assumption of when this is going to happen. And in this video, you're going to leave with all the keys to this second pump, including everything that you need to know. But what we know right now is that this chart right here, we know that the explosion happened right here. In retrospect, it's easy to see this first huge pump. But this is what I had to say about this exact chart 8 months ago. Roll the clip. Once price action breaks above this yellow line, that's when an explosion in price will happen. An explosion that XRP hasn't seen in recent years. It'll be significant because you have to think about it. This is a 6-year trend line. 6 years of pent-up aggression. Once you burst through that, it's like the walls will let go and price will just. So you see, in that clip, 8 months ago, there was pent-up aggression. There was a long, extended downturn. There was huge built-up aggression for XRP. And as soon as we broke this line, as soon as we broke it, it was a massive explosion. Not a little bit, not a big, it was ridiculous. 8 months ago, we got everybody ready for that. However, there's another secret in the chart, which is a secret clue that XRP leaves right before it has this big explosion. I'm going to lay that on you in today's video as well. Let's get into it. Hi, I'm Steve. I quit my job over 13 years ago, been traveling the world since, thanks to my trading and investing skills. Join me for sponsorship-free TA with genuine value that actually works. Subscribe. So what we've got is this green box, and we enter it 2 times in every single cycle. The first time we enter is the first huge pump. The second time we enter this green box is the second huge pump that dwarfs the first huge pump. That's monumentally bigger than that first pump. And that's what we're really going to dig into. Before we get into this chart, I'm going to lay down the clues that XRP gives before this huge pump. Then we'll swing back to these boxes in green, and the rest is history. Let's take a look at this box. We're going to swing back. Now, what I told you earlier in the episode, we had watched this chart like a hawk for 8 months, but XRP leaves a clue. This is what I let you know. There's 2 moving averages, right? You can see on our screen, we have a green one and a red one, and you're simply looking for when the green one, which is the 9 SMA, crosses above the red one, which is the 21 SMA on the 2-week chart. When you go to the 2-week chart and you look for said cross, it becomes obvious. By the way, in my next video, I'm going to give my honest price prediction for XRP. So make sure you subscribe right now. You do not want to miss that. Subscribe. So it becomes clear, simple, and blatantly obvious. Take a look. We just have 2 moving averages. We are on the 2-week chart. We have The green one, which is the 9 SMA, the red one, which is the 21. Look at when it crossed in 2017. We had this green one cross above the red one right here, dropping a huge clue that that first pump was underway. It gave us clue weeks before this huge pump. Then we fast forward to the next cycle. Guess what happened in 2020? In 2020, we had this cross. And right after this cross, we had that massive, huge pump. It started with the first huge pump and then the second huge pump. Then the whole thing repeats. Now, here we are. We're taking a look at what could be history in the making for XRP. So that is one huge clue that you cannot leave this video without sharing it with someone else in the XRP army. These moving averages happen like clockwork every single cycle, and I can't let you miss out on that again. No hype, just facts. Subscribe and relax. Now, back to the meat and potatoes of today's video. These green boxes, they're met 2 times in every single cycle. Let's break it down. It all started back in 2017, the glory days of crypto. Now you can see it looks like a little blip in the radar that first time we entered inside of this, but let me tell you, the price was exuberantly high. I mean, this went up a couple thousand%. Was this move right here. Literally a couple thousand%. That was the first huge pump. And the second huge pump was even bigger. By the way, these boxes in the middle of our screen are the RSI. Overbought, oversold. Technically, this ranges from a level of 0 up to 100. You essentially want to buy when we're below 30, and you want to think about selling when we're above 70. That, in simple terms, is the basic rules to the RSI. What else you need to know about the RSI is right now in XRP, and again, we've got all of the data back to 2013. Right now in XRP, it's the 3rd highest overbought zone of its entire history in 11 years. Just let that sink in for a second. 11 years of history. Right now, as you're watching this video, it's the 3rd most overbought. What does that mean? Does that mean it's a great time to buy? That means that right now, there are more humans buying XRP than ever before. The only 2 times were here. And by the way, both of those were an intermittent top. I'm just stating the obvious here. And what you love me for is TA that's unbiased, no BS, no sugarcoating anything, straight facts. That's why you just subscribed. You're probably like, hey, I've been looking for someone that just speaks facts. They tell it to me like it is. They don't try to sugarcoat anything or try to sell anything really silly. It's just cold hard facts. That's it. That's why you just subscribe. By the way, shout out to the XRP army. I want you to share this video right now with someone in the XRP army to help them. Share it now. But here we are. You can clearly see we got in there twice in 2017. First was that first big pump. Second was the second big pump. 2021 was no different. The first time we got in this green bump was that first huge pump. And then the second one. The key question to all of this and what we're about to break down is when this huge pump could happen. When can we expect it? And right now, we've got some pretty cold, hard facts that are right in front of us that are screaming out. Do you see what I see? We're about to break it down, but you can see the first huge pump in 21, the second huge pump in 21. The second time we enter this green box is always the top. Now, what we notice is that in 2017, that RSI that we just talked about, that first time was a higher RSI than the second one. In other words, we had bearish divergence. Now, what does that mean? That means that price made a high and a higher high, while the indicator, or RSI, made a high and a lower high. Anytime you see price action doing one thing and the indicator doing the other, that's divergence, and price is about to reverse and do the opposite. That's why we had such an extreme crash after that second top. It's because we had bearish divergence. 2021 was no different. We had that first pump, The second one went higher, but that second one went lower in the RSI. So what we can look for right away is looking at how high we went in the RSI. It's likely that if trends were to continue, we would see that second explosion be further up in price, but maybe lower in the RSI. Something to watch out for, incredibly noteworthy, which is why you're going to share this video with everyone in the XRP community. By the way, shout out to the XRP army. If you have held strong over the years, even though you were losing money for years, but you believed in the project and you held on, and now you're in profit, congrats to you. Congrats to anybody who held strong with any investment. You deserve all your success. Now to the million-dollar question. When is this going to happen? Well, I told you the charts leave clues. Let's take a look at 2017. We know that it doesn't look like it's too long in between that first explosion and the second. And just with the naked eye, you can see it's pretty similar in 2021, meaning that first pump is here, the second pump is here. They look like they're pretty similar in terms of how far apart these two huge moves happen. Now, keep in mind, these two huge moves are literally the two biggest moves of the entire bull for XRP. So they're incredibly important. All of your financial gains rely on what the charts are saying. So let's take a deeper dive. We know that this first huge pump back in 2017 happened in May. We know that the second one happened in December, same year. 2021, we know that the first one happened in November 2020, and the second one happened in March 2021. When we dig into it closer, you can just shift on your keyboard while you're looking at the charts and slide it over and see how many days that it was. So in 2017, it was about 200 days in between this first and the second. Now we look at 2021, between that first huge pump and the second, we're talking about maybe 130 days. So we can say that based on the data that we have in the charts, and since 2017, having two data points entered the green box, we can say that so far it's been between 130 days and 230 days. So why don't we just meet somewhere in the middle, and let's assume that we'll do something similar. And where would that bring us? Let's call it roughly 200 days just to keep it simple, right? We're probably talking about maybe 180 if we really get technical, but we also don't know when this is going to stop. What we do know is that so far these 4 data points were quick. It wasn't like it took us, 6 months that we held up here up near the top. It was really short-lived. I mean, we're on a 2-week time horizon, so it's quick. In other words, let's just hypothetically progress out maybe 200-ish days, 180-ish days from here, and that will take us to approximately, if things were going to continue this way, potentially in the middle of 2025, having that second huge pump, even bigger than the rest. What video I'm going to drop next is my honest price prediction for this market cycle right here, based on the numbers and based on the math. So hit that subscribe button, and I'll see you right here in that next video. Do you want less stress and more success in crypto? Click this video right now.